Hi there, and welcome to Ultimate Decades Challenge with the Walter family. We are entering 1310. In 1309, we ended that decade by losing our final Gen Zero character, Hugo, in a bar fight. We added a new member to the Wood family, and we're just kind of moving forward with our next heir, Emmett, becoming a toddler and hopefully going on to grow up and live a great life. To start off this year, we need to go ahead and roll for Cassandra's young adult birthday and for Osbert's adult birthday. So we shall see what's going to happen with our main couple. And it's another rainy day, so it looks like we're gonna have to just hang out indoors and work on things in the house. Osbert managed to get himself struck by lightning. We'll go ahead and knock out the rolls. Cassandra first. She needs to avoid a 6 and 14. Okay. For Osbert, he will have to avoid 3, 6, 11, 13, and 18. Okay. This is not good. Very much not good. We haven't even reached the famine yet, and we're losing our main people. Cassandra practicing the lute. Everyone kind of staying indoors except for Tobias. I don't know where he is deciding to go. But Emmett just sitting down to eat on his bed. Osbert listening from their bed. It makes it all the more heartbreaking to know what's about to happen for them. I think it makes a lot of sense for Osbert to pass away from complications due to being struck by lightning. So we'll do cardiac explosion. Maybe he had a heart attack because this isn't the first time he's been struck. He got struck in a previous year, at least once as well. So maybe that caused some permanent damage. For Cassandra, I'm going to hold off and go ahead and let her get some help in the household since she'll be a young widow, and then we can figure out what's going to be her cause of death, and we'll just make sure that it happens within the next day or so. It's so sweet. Osbert is trying to teach Emmett to be a good person. Trader Jacques. So we get a chance to sell everything that we've been holding on to. And then it's also tax day. Yeah, we'll go ahead and let them have a little bit of family time. Cassandra prepping a meal. Osbert doing a little bit of potty training with Emmett. We also went ahead and sold off some of the elder chickens. At this point in time, they're just in such a calm, comfortable stage of life. And it's time. Let Osbert off camera get cleaned up. But he went back outside. Lightning effects kicked in. And the Grim Reaper is here for him. Tobias is already just devastated. Cassandra. Oh. Emmett finally made it over. Right. Bye, Osbert. Okay, you guys, you need to get out of the rain. It's dangerous out here for you. So immediately, I think Cassandra went over to Alma and Milo's house, and she was just gonna go ask for their assistance maintaining the farm but it looks like she and Milo are soulmates. And then Aaron and Tobias being sweet and getting along, probably talking about everything that's happening and what's going on with the losses in their family. Uh-oh. Looks like one of them said something that upset the other. And they're just gonna have it out while the toddlers are sitting and watching. Oh, Tobias is not the winner. And then Alma, it seems like, keeps checking in on what Cassandra and Milo are doing. Everyone checking in on the kids, making sure they're okay at the moment. Once Milo sat down to read Madeline a story, looks like maybe are Cassandra and Alma gonna come up with a decision about what to do next with the main family farm now that she's a widow. Maybe requesting them to move in with her. Milo's all for it. Alma's okay at the moment until, it looks like they were okay until she realized that Cassandra and her husband have feelings for each other and that it could get in the way. Cassandra's tough though. And I guess they're gonna have a truce for the good of the children and go ahead and move in together. Over in the Wood household, it was time to age Marjorie up into an infant. And so they're all hanging out together. Marcus has his toddler role. So we'll go ahead and get that knocked out and see if he gets to stay with us as a toddler. He has to avoid 4, 8, 12, and 16. Yay! At least someone made it. Before bed, Marcus already went to sleep. Rosa and Max hanging out and talking with each other. Seems like they might have gotten into a little bit of a fight. Not necessarily being on the best, sweetest of terms at the moment. But we can't expect them to be perfect, loving siblings 24/7. So once Alma and Milo have moved in, they're all having a meal together, and it is trouble right off the bat, just like Alma thought there might be. Cassandra and Milo are flirting with each other right in front of her face, so understandably she got very, very upset. But these two, she's not even acting like she's still in mourning for the love of her life. And he's not acting like his wife is right there with him. Oh, Alma is still in the room, getting angrier and angrier by the second. Looks like she's decided to confront him. I feel like the smile was deceptive. After all of that drama over breakfast, it's time for the harvest, which will be the first year for Milo to actually be heavily involved with it. And Cassandra, just let him do his work. I have not seen you go cry once over your husband. Everyone else is finishing up the other chores. Aaron is jumping right in with helping with the cow. Tobias is handling the chickens. Alma is choosing to mourn her brother. She seems like she's been the most sensitive of all the family members so far, with her children and other members. And then once the harvest and all the chores are done, we decided to go ahead and expand the house and add on to it. With the Mannerings having been a little bit wealthier, they brought some money in, as well as the money from the harvest and sales kind of saving up. It just makes sense with how many people are in the house to finally expand and give an additional space for everybody. We decided to build up and just move everyone's sleeping quarters upstairs for now and actually make a private adult bedroom versus the children being in a separate room. Unfortunately, during the construction process, there was an accident and a log fell and landed on Cassandra. So that is going to be why she is no longer with us moving forward. But adding some very simple decor. I don't know that it's completely accurate to have that fireplace there, but I feel like they would have some form of fireplace. So that is what we're doing. Yep, Cassandra thought she could lie down and feel better after the accident, but unfortunately her injuries were too serious and she passed away. So now new additions over in the family plot. After being such an emotionally draining and long couple days, everyone took a nap, and then Alma went down into the kitchen to start cooking up dinner for everybody for when they started to wake up. Beatrice came over to visit, check out the expansion to the house and see how everyone is doing. Not only is she sad about losing her brother and her sister-in-law, but she also knows that Alma and Milo may not be in the best state of their relationship ever, and they now have taken on 2 additional children to care for. So they will basically become the adoptive parents to Tobias and Emmett. Tobias and Aaron playing and talking over dinner, with Madeline just watching and admiring them. It looks like their fight has probably been long forgotten at this point. Aww. Tobias comforting Aaron. I'm sure that this is a huge change for them. Over in the Wood household, Arnold was hanging out with the children while Beatrice is over visiting her family. He might be telling them what happened and giving them kind of insight into, what may be going on with Aaron and Tobias, since all of the cousins are really good friends. But especially Max and Tobias are like best friends. These 2 also look like they're burying the hatchet and getting along better again. Time for bed in this household. And so once all of the children have been tucked in and read to sleep, Beatrice came home and made sure to stop in at the chicken coops and feed all of the animals and gather the day's eggs that she didn't get to before, prior to heading inside the house herself. And then, of course, once again, we have quite a few of the animals from the main household in their coop. The next day, Milo had to get to work planting this new season's crops that were not already started. Aaron has taken to archery very quickly, and Alma finally has some sunshine out to continue working on her laundry, which got piled up quite a bit during the storm. Tobias is taking to Madeline, which, she likes him. They're being so sweet. The children's club decided to call a gathering and all hang out. Tobias and Max greeting each other conspiratorially, best friends. It looks like they're trying to just go straight into having a good time and not dwell on sad things at the moment. Meanwhile, Mina and Darius are hanging out with Rosa and Aaron. All the cousins happy to see each other, and all of them taking turns practicing archery together, though Rosa doesn't seem the nicest about it. Nope, definitely not the nicest. I need to try and find an override to get rid of umbrella usage. It really irritates me to keep seeing them hold umbrellas. Inside, Alma had a moment of not feeling so angry with Milo that she won't even look at him, and he is feeling that. So excited that his wife isn't icing him out for as long as he expected. Taking advantage of that and talking to her, telling her exciting stories, really being open about his day. And it looks as though telling her that as soon as Cassandra passed away, he realized his true soulmate was her this whole time was enough to get her back in bed with him. While they're having fun upstairs, the children decided to come inside and eat some snacks. Mina making a huge mess. I feel like Tobias would probably tell her to stop. He's a fairly responsible kid. So once she's done making a mess, she went and joined everybody at the table, all of them talking about how their day was in archery. I don't know if any of them really have caught on that Rosa is not with them, though it looks like Darius did, and he went outside to find her and talk to her as well. I'm not surprised that he's the one who did it, since the two of them are very good friends. I actually think, unless something crazy happens, that I would like for the two of them to end up together. He's hanging out with Aaron and telling crazy stories. Tobias and Max, inseparable like always. Oh, and poor Emmett just wants to be part of the group. Just crying. Tobias being aware of it. What's he gonna do? Oh, he decided to hug Emmett. And of course, while all the children are hanging out late at the Wood household, Beatrice and Arnold are being romantic with one another. They didn't even notice that their daughter didn't make it all the way home and fell asleep on a bench outside. The next day, everyone had to wake up and get their chores done. So gather water, take care of the animals, make sure that the shed has been cleaned out. Aaron is doing a good job taking to actually doing chores and tasks, considering that he came from a household that really didn't do any of this. Wonder why Madeline is just out in the yard. Alma going to check on her. Hey, I think it's time for us to go give you a bath. Even outside in the fresh air, I can smell you. And then, of course, Madeline would be excited. She doesn't think baths are a bad thing. They're fun. And it's more time to spend with her mom. So while they're doing chores and baths and all the household stuff, Milo went out to forage. Everyone, all the kids just hanging out with Alma, having snacks and playing games, talking about their new life, and probably, I think she would tell them how proud she is of them for what they've been doing. After foraging, Milo stopped by the Wood house on the way home to go ahead and grab their animals back, especially since they're starting to get older. Popped inside to say hello to everyone for a minute. Enjoyed a minute talking to Arnold and Max. At the house, he came back to find Emmett playing in the wash tub. And it looks like he was probably going to go play in the toilet, but Tobias turned him around. Oh, Madeline coming out as well. It's so cute to see them together. Oh, what a sweetie. I hope that these two both make it. I'd like to get to see them grow up together the way that we're getting to watch Max and Rosa. taking turns singing a song together, and turned around just in time to see what Aaron made out of clay. Tobias and Alma maybe not having the best conversation. And then she is pregnant. Ending out the year, Milo will now be the one responsible for doing the yard sales. So he went into town and set up a booth with what they still had available after their annual sale after the sale with Trader Jacques. It ended up being pretty successful. They sold a lot of the honey, one of the statues, and the flowers that got added midway to replenish the table. This was also a good chance for Milo to talk with the other townsfolk, get caught up a little bit with them. We got notice and update that Georgia married Philip. So he finally got to meet Philip, who is a newcomer to their town, and then also got to speak with Cassidy's husband. And ending the year on the note of Beatrice and Arnold having a little fun in one of the bushes that they love so much. So, ending 1310 in our main household, we are no longer the Walter family at this time. Both Osbert and Cassandra have passed away, leaving Emmett potentially to become the future heir if he survives all of his next birthday rolls coming up. Until then, it will be the Mannering household because their Aunt Alma and Uncle Milo have moved in and taken over, making sure that the family continues and that the farm progresses and isn't lost. With that being the case, we now see the Mannering household have Alma, Milo, their children. We went through a little bit of a roller coaster, Aaron, with as Milo well as Cassandra, Alma's little brother Tobias, right before she passed away, and then her nephew, Milo having a second chance soulmate with his wife. We went through a little bit of a roller coaster with Milo and Cassandra finding out they were soulmates right before she passed away, and then Milo having a second chance soulmate with his wife, which could have been wonderful if that had been right off the bat, but that's okay. They are learning how to be farmers and handle animals and crops when they had come from a household of honey and mead. So they may bring that with them eventually, but for right now, I think they're going to try to take on and understand what their new life looks like. At the very last moment, we have found out that Alma is pregnant, so we will be seeing a new baby next year. In the Wood household, Marjorie became an infant, Marcus passed his toddler role, and Beatrice and Arnold are still very much in love and have discovered that they were soulmates from the start, which makes perfect sense to them. Not expecting any children that we know of yet, so we can hope for that next year, and maybe we will continue to see the good luck with their birth roles. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in 1311.